We're going to see the sympathetic pathway of how we do mydriasis. This is the dilation of the pupils. So we begin with some neuron that is between the hypothalamus and the vertebral column from T1 or around T1, C8 to T1. So we would have our preganglionic neuron, then the ganglion, that is when the bodies of the second neuron arises, and then this postganglionic neuron and the target organ. So this is like the scheme. Now, before the preganglionic neuron, there is another neuron. So we would call first neuron, second neuron, and third neuron, or first neuron, preganglionic neuron, postganglionic neuron. This neuron or first neuron is on the hypothalamus and descends to the ciliary center of Boch, that is from C8 to T1, and these neurons, the axons of these neurons that are on the hypothalamus, form the hypothalamus spinal tract, descending tract. Then these neurons synapse with the first neuron on the sympathetic scheme of ganglion neurons, both think as the second neuron or the preganglionic neuron, and the bodies are on the lateral horns of C8 to T1. Then this is the preganglionic neuron and is going to pass first through the ganglions at that level, but it's not going to do synapse there. Instead, it's going to go all the way up, and here will be the superior celiac cervical ganglion. So that would be the ganglion. And here now the third order neurons or the postganglionic neurons. And then here is the postganglionic neuron and goes through the plexus around the internal carotid artery, passes through the cavernous sinus as the long ciliary nerve, and gets to the target organ, that is the dilator sphincter of the pupil. So the neurotransmitters that are involved between the preganglionic neuron and the postganglionic neuron is acetylcholine, the ganglionic neurotransmitter, and the receptors of the postganglionic neurons are acetylcholine receptors type nicotinic or nicotinic type. And the release neurotransmitter from the postganglionic neuron to the target organ, that is the dilator sphincter of the pupilla, is the norepinephrine, and the receptor is a alpha adrenergic receptor. Now, from this neuron is not going only to the dilator sphincter, but also goes to the sweat glands of the eyelids and the face. So when the sympathetic pathway is activated, we do mydriasis, and this mydriasis is the sphincter dilator of the pupil is a muscle that is around the iris. This is the pupil, the iris, and this is that muscle. When we constrict this muscle, the constriction of this muscle pulls it like this, and so the pupil got dilated. The muscle is constricted, but the pupil is dilated. So this is the radial muscle or the iris muscle, the part of the dilator sphincter of the pupil. So that is how, when the sympathetic pathway is activated, we do mydriasis.